welcome in to Follow Everton. This is Chad coming from the States. We are going to be joined by the probably nearly the whole crew of everyone at Follow Everton. So stick with me as we're going to recap and just talk about the day. Everton took down Southampton 2-0. We saw all the scenes from Goodison. I'm sure many of you are still seeing them or are getting news from friends that are in the ground. Your local coverage, news coverage is probably capturing an awful lot of really great images and storylines as well. So pleasure that you're on. I'm so honored that even 56, 57 of you as you're filing and now are joining me for our post-match. We're going to discuss Everton's 2-0 win over Southampton. Again, this is Follow Everton. So thank you for joining us. We're going to get the whole crew in shortly as they start filing out of Goodison to get their live reactions, their live takes on what was a really ho-hum 2-0 win today. It felt emotional just watching it on television. It felt emotional. It felt I don't know. It just you could see it kind of coming through coming through the television, what it meant to the supporters in Goodison today, being there, singing every song that they could probably recall over the years. I think we heard many of them coming through the speakers today. Really great scenes, really lovely scenes over at Goodison. And to top it off, you're able to get a 2-0 win over a Southampton side that looks quite championship to me. If you had to ask me, let's look at your comments, get them in. We will discuss this. I'm looking forward to talking with all of you about it. Here we go, Eugene. It is party time in Goodison soon. Indeed, I hope everyone is enjoying those final moments as they're filing out of that stadium. Great send-off for the grand old lady today. Goodbye, Goodison Park. Phil Gaming 47. Absolutely. They are playing our Z cards again now. Where is the Peacock exclusive feed? I don't know what that means, Dark Reven, but we did watch it. We do have Peacock here in the States. They said they were showing the after festivities on Peacock. NBC is trash. I think I saw some news of this. I think you might be right. I haven't clicked over. I should probably open up my Peacock app and see if I could see some of that. That would be great. I was trying to catch up on Twitter, just getting various, live reaction from all of the people I follow, trying to see some of those scenes from Goodison. I imagine it's going to take a while for everyone to start filing out. Michael James, let's go. 2-0 win today. We'll take it. What did you think today about the match? We'll talk about Goodison. We're going to talk about how everyone is feeling now that we have we're moving into the new home, Hill Dickinson Stadium at Bramley Moore Dock. We're going to talk about all of that. And what do you think about the name? Hill Dickinson Stadium. I'm not familiar with Hill Dickinson. I guess it's quite a large law firm on Merseyside in Liverpool. So I would love to hear what your thoughts are. I'm sure we're just going to all call it Bramley Moore Dock anyway, right? Or Everton Stadium. We're excited to get into that ground. But today is all about Goodison. Today is talking about, our memories from watching games there. That feeling of coming out of the ground today and what your thoughts were on today's match. So we're going to try to cover all of that today. There you are, Michael. All right, yeah, get your comments in. Corey's going to be joining us very momentarily. He's going to share his thoughts on the match and on Goodison. I know he was trying to track down a program. So if you have an inroad to a program today, please grab one. Help us find a way to get that over to Corey. He wanted to make sure he had one today. Here we go. Goodbye, Goodison. Happy that it gets a new life now, not torn down. Hill Dickinson was founded on Merseyside in 1810. It has a lot of local history, better than some Saudi airline. Absolutely. I can't echo this enough. It feels great to know that we are co-branding that stadium with a local business that is growing and creating jobs and opportunities in Liverpool. It's not sponsored by SaudiGenocide.com or what have you. It is a name that we can be proud of. And certainly, I'm thrilled to see that they are going to be injecting some cash into Everton. It looks like it is a really great deal for Everton. I've seen reports of maybe upwards of £10 million a year for that naming rights agreement. So I love that is coming into the club. The new name seems silly to me. I'd rather just call it BMD. We will. We will. But it's fine. I think we'll probably all get used to Hill Dickinson as well. There'll be some shortened name for it that everyone will refer to it as, or we'll just call it Bramley Moore Dock. That's fine. That's fine. It's the least of our concerns. The great thing is that cash influx that is going to be coming into the club. So hopefully we can start getting players in and rebuilding this squad and kind of restoring Everton to its rightful place on the table of where it should be. Peter Duggan is joining us. I never thought I'd shed a tear, but I can't help myself. That's right, Peter. I couldn't help it as well. I was sitting on my couch today in the States. I shed a tear as well, just seeing all of those supporters in Goodison, what it meant to them, knowing that this is the only ground that they have ever known for Everton, which is a huge, significant part of their life, and a place that they have many fond memories in. So, yeah, I can't imagine what it would be like to be an Evertonian from Merseyside, having grown up in that ground in Goodison, and then what today means to you. I'm personally looking forward to hearing all of the podcasts and seeing the media that I get to take in as well. I'm excited to hear those stories for people recounting today and what today meant to them. I agree. At least it's not a Saudi name like Man City's ground. Absolutely. It's not. It doesn't roll off the tongue, but I'll take it, and it is something that Everton can be proud of. And in a company like Hill Dickinson, which they're trying to, from my understanding, they're trying to expand their footprint and their brand within the UK and Europe in general. So I think it's a great opportunity for them. I think it's a great opportunity for Everton, and it's certainly nothing that we would need to be embarrassed about or shy away from. Hill Dickinson, again, it doesn't roll off the tongue, but we'll take it. It's better than a lot of alternatives. Hey, thank you for joining me. I'm Chad, coming to you from the States. We're going to be recapping Everton's 2-0 win today over Southampton. You've tuned in to follow Everton. I can't tell you what it means to me that you're joining me to talk about this match and Goodison in general. We're going to get all the guys coming on as they exit Goodison today. We want to hear their takes. Hopefully we hear from Ryan and Stevie and Jan and Mabsy. I think Corey is going to be joining me really soon as well. So we're going to talk about the match and what we thought. Let's get into the match. What were your thoughts? So we saw how David Moyes lined up today. I think he was certainly making a statement by bringing Seamus Coleman, and I think it's something that we all wanted to see, was Seamus Coleman start the final game at Goodison. As an aside on Seamus, really disappointed that he was only able to go, 17 minutes today. That's unfortunate. I think it might have been a result of, trying to get a cross in early in the game. I'm not sure if he tweaked something. Unfortunately, Seamus wasn't able to go very far into this match. So replaced by Ashley Young. But David Moyes started off in a way that probably a lot of people expected. Iliman Ndiaye, Dwight McNeil, who he seems to realize are his two best wingers. He did run Abdoulaye Doucouré out there. We will get into Abdoulaye Doucouré. Certainly a match to be forgotten for him, but noteworthy, and it seemed like he was emotional coming off today. But Abdoulaye Doucouré did get the start. Beto started up top, and he's been in pretty good form. So no surprises there that Beto was starting today. DCL was on the bench. DCL did get in, but I think David Moyes wants to continue to get a look at DCL, but certainly not fit for the majority of the minutes today. So not a surprise that Beto started today. In the midfield, it was Ghana, Gay, and James Garner. That has been the midfield two that has been really the consistent part of the squad since Oral Mangala went down. So nothing really changed. Nothing was expected to be changed there. We didn't get any changes there. Jared Branthwaite, Jake O'Brien in the back. Great to see Jake back today, able to go the full 90 plus. So that was wonderful to see Jake back. We'll also get into Jared Branthwaite and his potential hamstring injury. I would imagine that's probably all we see from Jared Branthwaite now until the beginning of next season. If it is a hamstring injury, you want to make sure you're careful with him. He might not even go on the summer series. So in the States, the preseason tour. So we'll have to see what the news is on Jared Branthwaite. And then, as I mentioned, Seamus Coleman, Vitaly Mikolenko at your fullback. So that's how David Moyes lined up today. It was an emotional opening of the match. It was really wonderful to hear, those supporters in full song, really, really embracing the moment. So that it was a really fun way to start. And then knowing that we got a goal early, we created chances early. It was a great way to kick it off. Honestly, I'll never forget my first game I ever attended, 2002, when I was 4 or 5, sat on my dad's lap against Arsenal. The day Rooney scored his first Premier goal. Wow. Peter, that's an incredible story. So the fact that you were there for Rooney's first goal in that iconic moment against Arsenal, that's amazing. At 4 or 5 too. So that's quite young. I hope you have some fond memories of that day. Peter letting us on to his age there. Here we go. Didn't Branthwaite pick up an injury? That's worrying. He did. It was, I think, around the 78th minute, if I'm not mistaken. So he was grabbing that right hamstring. He has had some issues with some soft muscle issues before. So we'll see. It's a little concerning that Jared Branthwaite may have picked up. I don't think it was significant. I wouldn't say it was a significant injury, but certainly something to be cautious of. Those hamstring injuries are delicate, as we see, from Dominic Calvert-Lewin's own history. So you have to be really careful with hamstring injuries. They're a tough thing to get back from. I've heard many stories of people feeling like it's okay, and then they test it and they don't. It gets a little iffy. It's a tough thing to get confidence in. Once you sustain a pretty major injury to a hamstring, it's a tough thing to get confidence in moving forward. So we just saw this. So Dominic Calvert-Lewin, he in fact has a history of hamstring injuries himself, and it has taken him a lot of time to get back into full fitness and form, if he's ever really truly been back to form since his hamstring injuries have began. TNT making us miss the ceremony. I would love to hear about it. Let me know what is happening on television there on Merseyside. I would imagine that you guys are seeing some kind of scenes or some kind of live action of people filing out of Goodison and what is happening there. So please let us know. Let us know what you're hearing. Let us know what you're seeing on local television, what you're hearing from friends, maybe that are texting you if you're at home watching this. Again, thank you for joining us. This is Follow Everton. We have 156 of you on. Truly honor that you would join us today to celebrate this historic, monumentous day as we said goodbye to Goodison Park. Peter, my God, the lads from the 60s look old and crusty. Love them. Oh, yeah, there was a lot of old legends in the ground tonight. I wish I would have recognized all of them. Unfortunately, a lot of Everton's history in Goodison tonight. So that was fun to see. So yeah, let's continue to talk about the match. We threatened early. There was a lot of opportunities early. That Beto nearly scored. I'm trying to remember exactly what the play was. I remember him outstretching, trying to chip it in or just get a little piece of the ball with his left foot. Ramsdale made a nice save. It was probably the best play Ramsdale made all day. Ramsdale. I think we all have our history of many people thinking he was England's number one, and he's constantly shown that he is just a class below Jordan Pickford. So Beto early on, I think 5 minutes in, nearly scored, and then not long after that, Iliman Ndiaye with just a piece of absolute magic, a really great goal to start, and that's what he's capable of. I think that's what we saw in the first half of the season. That's what we know Iliman Ndiaye has in his locker. Just being able to pick up the ball, be elusive, be threatening, be creative, and he was able to do that. So slotting that goal home with his left foot into that far corner, Iliman Ndiaye, really, really beautiful goal. I was happy for him too, because he has not looked like himself. So it's good to have him back. It certainly seemed like this was the Iliman Ndiaye that we kind of grew to love, grew to sing for, and then he had a great moment today. He scores the final 2 goals in Goodison's history. So fantastic day for him. He is absolutely my man of the match. He's going to be everyone's man of the match. So great day for him. Let's get some more of your comments in. Kevin is here. We got Kevin here. Great to see you, Kevin. Appreciate you joining us. Get your thoughts in. I would love to hear what you thought of today. Today in general, saying goodbye to Goodison or the match. Never is on the pitch. He said he wasn't going to go on. TNT took down the stream altogether. Just sad not to be able to follow the celebration of Goodison. Unfortunately, yeah, I hate to see that. We will get some scenes coming in from hopefully media personalities, Alan Myers, Julia Bold. They could go on and on. All those guys over at the Liverpool Echo. So hopefully we get lots of footage from them. We get lots of stories from them. So if I hear anything, we will share it on Follow Everton today as well. But we're going to just hear from you. I want to know what everybody is thinking today as Everton took down Southampton 2-0 and the final home match of the season and the final match, the final men's match at Goodison. Definitely want to say men's match after the women will be taking over. Was Nev there? I didn't see Nev. Maybe I didn't get him on my version of the feed, but I did not see Nev. Would have been great if he was. I hope he was. It was a comfortable game. We could have been 3-0 in the first half against a team already down and nothing to play for now that they have avoided the worst Premier League record of 11 points held by Derby County. Yeah, Southampton. I don't know. I'll be honest. I don't know a lot about this Southampton side. Were they playing young fellas today? I would imagine they were probably playing a younger squad. They look like, especially in that first half, they look like a team that already had the sandals on, that was ready for that summer vacation, and are already thinking about their next moves. Not really a threat whatsoever in that first half. And I think the only thing that changed in the second half, well, first of all, we were making some subs, but just, the second half was odd. It was an emotional day altogether. And I think the players felt that. I couldn't tell if they were just dead on their legs after, just being exhausted from playing in general, or if you could kind of feel the letdown coming through. It certainly seemed like the players did not have the same spark in that and late in that second half as they did in the first, certainly just trying to hold on to that 2-0 at that point. We certainly have our history with 2-0 this season, don't we? We've had some unfortunate results at 2-0. So I was glad to see, almost poetic, right? In a way that they were able to hold on to a 2-0 today against a Southampton team that we unfortunately have not had good results with thus far. So the TMT stream effed it up at the end, and no celebrations on the YouTube channel. Hopefully, if anyone from Everton, that's a social media team at Everton is watching, I'm hoping that you're getting all of this, and then we can hopefully get some of these scenes from you on your social media feed. So if anyone from Everton is watching, just get it all to us if you can. I'm sure you're collecting as much media as possible. We would love to see it. I would love to see some of this fan reaction as people are embracing their final moments in Goodison. I would love to hear some of those stories as well as people come out. So we should be joined by the whole cavalcade of Follow Everton stars. Hopefully we get Corey on with us soon, and then he's going to be sharing his thoughts on the match today and maybe some Goodison takes as well. I believe Corey was on pre-match, so I unfortunately missed that. I would love to hear what his thoughts were, coming into today, and if the match kind of lived up to what his expectations were for it. I think we all kind of were hoping for a magical day here, some kind of magical result. We certainly got a great result, but it was lacking the drama that certainly we saw in the Derby this year and other matches. But it was probably appropriate if this match would have been to for our own safety or a league position that had some major significance. I know we're pushing for at least 13th in the table right now. If this game would have had some more significance on the future of the club, then maybe there would have been a bit more drama. But the story today was the grand old lady and just enjoying those final moments. It felt like the game was almost secondary to the storylines of the day, which is probably appropriate. So I'm glad Everton were able to get a 2-0 win. A deserving 2-0 win nonetheless. Could have been 3, could have been 4, could have been 5. Beto had some major chances that he unfortunately couldn't stay on side for and then couldn't convert. So we're going to get into all of those moments as well. But yeah, I thought today just felt it was certainly emotional, and I feel like the players were feeling that and kind of symbolizing that too with the way that they played today. You could tell that they were ready for that match to be over, looked a little exhausted on their feet, and probably just wanted to feel like they were able to deliver that result for Everton supporters. That pressure must be significant, knowing for them that they were really being looked on to deliver a result and what is Goodison's final men's game. So the fact that they were able to do that, I'm relieved and happy for many of those guys in the squad today. Continue to get me your thoughts in. Here we go, Hill Fort Games. I don't know what Hill Fort Games is, but great to win the final game. Everton born, but now living stateside. Lots of fond memories with games with my dad at Goodison. Looking forward to Chicago in July. Absolutely. I will be out there with you. For those that don't know, there are a ton of Evertonians in the States. I think we will be represented really well here with the summer series. So 3 different games, New Jersey, Chicago, and Atlanta. I have tickets for all 3. So hopefully I will be traveling with the Toffees over the week plus that they'll be here in the States. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm very curious now to see if we'll get Jared Branthwaite this summer. I want to hear from David Moyes on what those injuries look like for maybe Seamus Coleman, maybe Jared Branthwaite. It seemed like maybe those were the 2 main ones today. I didn't see anyone else kind of walking gingerly or showing that they picked up a knock or anything besides those 2. Massive shame for TNT to bottle the stream. Would have been amazing to see the send-offs live. Absolutely. I would love to see some of that myself. Unfortunately, they bottled this, but I think we'll get some of this from the Everton social media teams and some of those local media personalities and entities that are there on Merseyside today recording all of this. What's happening with TNT? Why aren't they showing the ceremony? That is the question of the day. So if anyone has any insight, please share it with us. We'll post it up here. That TNT stream was full of trolls. Well, that would probably do it. That might be one reason to pull it down if the comments were up and we were seeing some of that. So thanks, Kevin. That helps. Maybe they cut that short because of some inappropriate commentary that was taking place on that. TNT Sorts have Everton live on TV now. Okay, so hey, no issues for me. If anybody wants to simulcast that, we have 196 of you on. I'll continue to be sharing thoughts from the match today. Perfectly okay if you want to double screen it over at Merseyside and pull up TNT and watch some of those scenes while giving me your comments as well. Have nearly 200 of you on. We're going to be going for probably a little over an hour. I want to make sure that we get all of your comments in, telling me exactly what you thought of the match today, what you thought of those Goodison final moments. Hopefully Corey's going to be joining me shortly, so I won't have to monologue this whole thing. And then we should be hearing from some of the other lads as they come out. So this is your call. Ryan, Mabsy, Stevie, Jan, please jump on. Let me know what your thoughts are today, and then we'll get to you. Let me see if I could send out a call. Let me see. I'm going to put out the bat signal, and we'll get to it. All right. So unfortunately, it looks like some of that post-match coverage not great from TNT, but it looks like it may have gotten sorted now. So, is it over on YouTube? Rod says that TNT have gone from YouTube. I'll have to pull it up, see if I could see some of that as well. Very emotional day for Everton's. It really was. I don't know if I had the same television feed in the States that you did, but just seeing some of those crowd shots were really emotional, incredible scenes. You could see what it meant to those Evertonians to be in the ground today, taking in their final match at Goodison. and just recounting, I'm sure, all the times and memories that they have. We heard from Peter talking about his first match at Goodison and what that meant for him, and I think that's what a lot of Evertonians are doing today, just thinking about the times where they've been in that ground, shared their experience, their shared kind of history and stories with their loved ones, and what that has meant to them. So really, yeah, emotional day. Even for someone who is not over on Mercy's side, it was lovely to see a lot of those scenes today, and I hope we continue to see some of those. It looks like the stream is back up, so please pull up a double screen, pull up a second screen if you would like. I would love to hear what you're seeing over there as well. So it looks like it is back up. I might even try to go over myself and see what we're able to see over on YouTube. So is Everton's YouTube channel doing anything, or is it just TNT? Please let me know what you're seeing. Big Dunk, Ferguson, and Wayne Rooney is on the stage now. I will try to live commentary some of this if I'm able to find the same content that you all are talking about. Mhm. Okay, I see the TNT Sport. Okay, yeah, I see Big Dunk. I see Tony Bellows. That's him, right? The former boxer, Evertonian. Yeah, this is really fun. This is gonna be a little awkward. I understand that some of you are probably watching the stream now as Wayne Rooney is speaking. Um, what an incredible day. I'll continue to just hang with you if we wanna watch this together and take in some of those scenes. Share your comments, I'll pull them up. We can kind of experience all this together. I think that's probably the best way to approach it. Big Dunk, this is his favorite moment. I hope I'm around the same time in the stream as you all. This is his favorite moment. I'm like, gotta love Big Dunk. I love the apologies for any bad language you might hear. Graphic, that's great. Oh, love to see it. Love to see it. Big Dunk, Wayne Rooney taking it in. It doesn't look like a soul has left Goodison yet. I'm completely jealous of everyone there. Looks like Leighton Baines is out there. They're just gonna bring all kinds of Everton greats, aren't they? Being called out for texting, that's great. Which TNT channel? I am on TNT Sports, YouTube page. So, yeah, get onto YouTube, go to TNT Sports live coverage. It's called Goodison Park Farewell. I think I found the same stream everyone else is sharing. Very strange season. Farewell to Goodison Park, finished above Man U and Spurs. Can you believe that? Finishing above Man and Spurs. I would have loved to have money on that this season. The stream has gone dark. Oh, there we go. I hope all of you are watching this. This is great. Yeah, thumbs up. This you're experiencing, I guess, live commentary as we watch the Goodison Park farewell. Please get over to YouTube, pull up TNT Sports. We're listening to this um, pretty fun to take it. So I'll be with you sharing your comments. If you have any thoughts, get them in the comments. I'll pull them up. We can all kind of experience this together. Tim Cahill talking now. Yeah, Tim Cahill talking about Bill Kenwright. Hey, Bob, we see you. We're riding along with this TNT live coverage. If anybody is just now joining us, we've talked a little bit about the match, talk about Goodison Park, but we're trying to experience some of these live images from TNT's coverage. Get over to YouTube, um, watch some of this with us. I'll share your comments as you put them in. I'm going to make sure that we kind of do this as a community. Get all your thoughts in. So interesting that Tim Cahill did bring up Bill Kenwright, not a name that I heard much mention of in the coverage today from the broadcast. Um, Certainly a gargantuan figure in Everton's history. Wish Bill would have been around to see today and the opening of Bramley-Moore Dock, but um, can't get this TNT live coverage. I just went to YouTube. Just went to YouTube, was able to search it up. It's called Goodison Park Farewell, so it is on the TNT Sports YouTube channel. So please get over there. We'll watch it all together. What's wrong with me? I'm supposed to be a grown man. I hear you. This is fun. I love it. Leighton is one of my all-time favorites, so can't wait. Leighton Baines about to speak. If you're following along, watching along with us. Not a man of many words, Leighton Baines, but it's so great to see him there. Uh, an odd question of being a fullback to Leighton Baines. I don't think he knew how to take that question. That was really funny. So welcome in to Follow Everton. I see over 200 of you watching. Thank you for joining us. We are kind of just figuring this out as we go. So I'm going to be joined by Corey and some of the other Follow Everton guys as soon as they're able to get out of Goodison and get a signal. It's going to be some time though. We are watching along with the TNT live coverage of these final moments in Goodison. They are showing a highlight package now. Ray, Alex Iwobi, we're seeing some of the highlights in Goodison's history. Rich Harrelson. There's the DCL header. Um, yeah, some really fun moments. Oh, the King worldie against Tottenham. I remember that from a few years back. So we are getting in here. So yeah, follow along with us. We're just kind of figuring out this show as we go. It's going to be a little unique, probably a little bit different than we do other Follow Everton shows. We're going to just keep some of these images up and watching together. I want to hear your comments. So as you're watching this with us, think about this as like a live message board. I'm just here to help you all out. I want to get your comments up and I want to hear what you're thinking. Bob, did you figure it out? Yep, I have TNT YouTube up now. Fantastic. Bob, give me your thoughts in. I want to hear what you thought about today. Looks like we're back live again. Seeing the Everton legends, yes, absolutely. Oh, it looks like several of the players. So we have chairs out now. The players are out on the pitch. Uh, Jared Braithwaite is walking a little carefully here, as it looks like they're going to do a final walk around the pitch. Players with children in hand, surrounded by their families. This is really lovely. James Tarkowski with his little one with a daddy jersey on. Oh my God, um, that's wonderful. I love these. James Tarkowski's wife, walking with him, experiencing those final moments. She's a character, as we all know. Love her. And many of the other players. Jesper Lindstrom still with the squad, still part of Everton, even though his injury has kept him out for the rest of the season. He has not returned to his home team. Who was that? Napoli? Who did he come from? Napoli. So he is still with Everton. David Moyes out on the pitch now as well. As we get one final lap from these Everton players, and it looks like some potential legends as well. Braithwaite is doing a lap, but I thought his leg was gone. It does look like his leg was gone. He was walking with a little limp, trying to be very careful on it. I imagine he tweaked it, picked up some kind of strain on that muscle. It looked like his hamstring on his right leg. So I'm actually watching Jared Braithwaite pretty carefully here, hoping that it's nothing significant. But if he's able to walk on it out here, then that at least leaves me with a little hope that it's nothing significant. Jordan Pickford walking with his family, his little girl in his arms. Cool moment for him. It looks like the crowd is singing his song. Wives and girlfriends, or maybe both, Kevin, and their wives and their girlfriends might be out there today. It's potential. That's potentially the case, I would imagine. We were so lucky to get Moyes. Oh, Moyes. Okay. Yeah, we were so lucky. Thank God for David Moyes, right? Absolutely. We could relax. We could relax soon after he got us safe earlier. I would love to know what Sean Dyche is thinking right now. Is Sean Dyche wishing he could have been a part of this? You know what? This feels right. Having David Moyes with this team as a part of this club in this emotional, historic day, having David Moyes be a part of this rather than Sean Dyche just feels right. And it's no shade on Sean Dyche, but this feels right. David Moyes deserves to be a part of this, and I'm glad to see him out there. Seamus walking with his wife, and I think his daughter. Didn't get a great look at her. Yeah, it looks like it's his daughter. Just making the way around the ground, getting you know every single supporter clapping this team. Really fun images. Hey, thank you all for joining us. This is fun to be able to do this together. Get me your thoughts. I want to know, what are you thinking? What are you feeling right now? I'll pull them up. This is our live kind of message board. So uh, share this together. Let's share this as a community, and we'll kind of enjoy this all together. I do wish James Tarkowski on the screen now. I do wish James Tarkowski would have been able to play today. He has been such an integral figure for us in these recent seasons. It would have been great to see James Tarkowski out there in these final Everton moments. Dwight McNeil with his girlfriend. I hope she is. I hope her and her health are okay. I know she. It's been a difficult road the last few years. She's had some health struggles. I hope she's doing well. She looks good. So certainly thoughts to Dwight McNeil's girlfriend. I hope she has turned her health situation around. Just wonder who else were gone besides two goalkeepers, Young and perhaps Decore. Certainly looked like Decore knows he's gone today. Very interesting moments from Decore. Decore started the game. I don't know, maybe David Moyes is on to that stat that we see often about how Everton um, only win when Decore plays. Um, I think that might be a little bit of a coincidence there, but he did start Abdoulaye Doucouré today. I thought Abdoulaye Doucouré was dreadful for the entire first half, for much of the second half that he was in before he was subbed out. You would think a guy playing for a contract would have, I don't know, brought more passion or energy or ideas to the side today. Abdoulaye Doucouré did not look like a player that was fighting for a new contract. Um, Funny scenes here is Iliman Endai is walking around with his family, daughter stuck to his leg, and here we're going to get a Seamus interview. Seamus talking about 2009. Quick, quick interview with 60 grad Seamus Coleman. Looks like Jordan Pickford's going to get a few words in as well. Jordan Pickford holding his baby daughter. That song really comes through on the TNT coverage. What a great moment for Jordan Pickford. Uh, I mean, Jordan Pickford, he's been an absolute mountain for us. What an incredibly pivotal figure for us over the years, and for him to get this moment is great. Surrounded by his family, being serenaded by Evertonians. Absolutely love this. Here's Dwight and James Tarkowski being interviewed here by Tony Bellows. Let's see what they have to say. James Tarkowski talking about his equalizer against Liverpool. We're going to hear from Dwight really quickly, it looks like. We're going to listen in to Dwight talking about his season and the struggles he's seen and what Goodison means to him. Yeah, Tark's is gonna talk about his current injury. Oh, I love James Sarkowski. That was Tony Bellows interviewing, James Sarkowski and Dwight McNeil. Great moments for them. Um, let's see what's next. Oh, that looks like they might look at here, we're gonna get another television package, I'm guessing. Maybe some looks at Bramley Moore Hill Dickinson Stadium. Hey, you are watching Follow Everton. We have about 220 of you on right now. Thank you so much. We're kind of experiencing these final moments of Goodison together. So we did talk a little bit about the match. We did share some of our own thoughts on the day. Um, but now we're just watching the TNT stream together, taking in these final moments, getting your thoughts in. So it's a true honor that you decided to join Follow Everton today and listen in. I'm kind of serving as the comment moderator. I'm just getting in your thoughts, putting your thoughts up on the screen and talking about them. We are watching the TNT coverage live and just talking about it. Seamus Coleman walking around with his three kids and his wife. I love this moment for him. I love that he was able to get out on the pitch today. I hope he is okay. I would have loved to see him at least play a half of football today. We didn't get that for him. It looks like the women's players are on. Yes, up on the podium now. Tony is going to speak to some of the Everton women. So Tony is going to talk to some of the Everton women. I don't want to diminish this time for them. This is a great moment that they get to be a part of this as well. I do want to catch up on your thoughts, though. Make sure I'm hearing from all of you. So I'm going to talk a little bit at the same time that the Everton women are talking. This is not to diminish what they're saying in any way, but I just want to catch up on what you're saying here in the comments. Okay, so yeah, we wonder who else was gone. So the two keepers, Young, perhaps the Corey. There was I guess, an Instagram post from Ghana Gay that said, last time they had his blue kit from the locker. So is that Ghana Gay saying that he might not be back next year? Um, I don't know. It looks like Brian Sorensen is that the women's manager. Brian Sorensen is speaking now, surrounded by many of his players. So we'll see. I think we're going to start getting word out soon about who is not going to be back. We'll probably get some definitive word on the likes of Charlie Alcaraz if they're going to decide to buy him, if they're going to pursue another loan agreement with Jack Harrison. I can't imagine Jesper Lindstrom will be back. Um, DCL is probably the big elephant in the room that's just sitting out there right now. It certainly looks like Beto is a better fit for the current construction of this team. I thought Beto was fantastic today. Beto, one thing, the encouraging thing about Beto is is not just his improvement, because I feel like we're seeing the improvement out of Beto. It's his want, it's his desire to, first of all, perform for this team, perform for these fans. You can feel his passion, his love coming through every time he plays, his determination. Beto wears all of his emotions on his sleeve. But you can actually tell that he is working on his game. He knows he has deficiencies. He knows he's not a technically sound foot, but we're seeing he's holding the ball up better. He's linking up better. He made very aware plays today. Didn't necessarily lead to anything. And kind of put the ball into Dominic Calvert-Lewin that Dominic Calvert-Lewin wasn't able to kind of get a hold of on the break. David Moyes is about to speak. Let's look in. Let's listen in as David Moyes talks, and we'll get your thoughts. David Moyes talking about the scenes from before match, pre-match, as the coach came in. David Moyes with his plea to bring the same enthusiasm and energy to Bramley Moore Dock. We're listening in as David Moyes is being interviewed on this TNT coverage. We're going to get your comments in. We're kind of listening in and experiencing this together. David Moyes talking directly to the freaking group, saying, recognize how incredible this institution is and the potential of it still, and the plea to invest and cherish, what they have at their hands. Listening into David Moyes answering a question about today's match. We just listened to the David Moyes interview. I tell you, this is why I love David Moyes. This is why he is the man for this moment. It would be so easy to talk about Everton on a day like this in a historical sense. We all know Everton, one of the most historical clubs in all of Europe, right? Founding member of the Football League, founding member of the Premier League, trophies, not recent. Um, it would be very easy to talk about Everton in a historical sense. But David Moyes does not shy away from talking about and pleading for an urgency of what needs to be done right now. We need to take this that we are seeing today. Goodison, we need to move that over to Bramley Murdoch. Hey, freaking group. You see what's happening here? We need you to back the team in the appropriate way. David Moyes, talking about the club and with a forward look, a forward perspective is so refreshing. And it gives me hope that he is the man of the moment and the person that can build this team moving forward. So every time I hear from David Moyes, it just reassures me that he was the right selection at this time. Thank you, Sean Dyche, for keeping us up as you did. But David Moyes is the right man for this time, and I'm thrilled he's able to be a part of today, and I'm more thrilled that he's going to be able to be a part of tomorrow. So let's get to more of your comments. We are covering the final match at Goodison live with you. Thank you for joining us to follow Everton. We're talking about Goodison, our memories from Goodison today, what we're seeing live taking place right now. We're talking about Southampton. We're hearing your comments. So we want to know from you, what are you thinking as you're watching this along? So we have this TNT YouTube coverage up with us right now. We're getting your comments. We'll continue to talk about this, and then we'll hear from your comments as well. I'm kind of moderating the board. Let's see what your thoughts were as we listen in. So I agree. It's sort of poignant to have Moyes. He did what he had to do. Then comes back to end Goodison. Absolutely, David Moyes couldn't be happier that he's a part of Everton again. Doing a great job, by the way, Chad. I'm just trying to be a part of you. be one of you today and lift your thoughts and your voices. So, talk to me about what you're feeling, and we'll put them up and we'll share. Looks like we have Corey coming in. I'm going to bring him to the stage. Corey, mate, how you doing?
I'm all right, mate. Bit of a stressful
Oh,
one.
I
I'm
can't
trying
hear
to get
you.
online with you, and everywhere I turn, someone's doing work. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. If you're coming in now.
Yeah. Hey, mate.
A little
Yeah,
quiet.
been a bit of a stressful one. Um, every time I've been trying to get onto the stream, like someone's been doing some construction work on my gaff, so I can only apologise. I think I've changed bedroom about 3 times. Changed where I'm staying, setting up about 3 times. So I apologise.
No, it's great to have you on. This post match has been a little bit different, Corey. We initially started talking about, the match and just overall thoughts on the day and what, Goodison Park has meant to all of us is either, those that have grown up going to the ground or people like myself that have kind of seen it from a distance and it's still the home of the club that we love. And then once it looked like TNT has gotten the stream sorted out, we're just kind of watching it live and giving thoughts and comments here as we've heard from some club legends, Leighton Baines, Tim Cahill, Phil Jacquiel, David Moyes just spoke, heard from Tarky and Dwight, Seamus. So we're just kind of taking in all of this together and getting thoughts and comments as well. So what did you think of the match today? What are you thinking of the scenes that you're watching here?
I mean, yeah, it's fantastic. It's what we expect. Everyone enjoying themselves. Everyone getting to really, really drink it in. It's good seeing players from my era, mainly the David Moyes era, to be honest, from what I can remember more than anything. A couple lads from the 90s, but for me, it's mainly that era. So it's good to see hero Leighton Baines, Ozzy. So yeah, look, it's good to see all the gang together. Some players that maybe you weren't expecting to turn up, not necessarily legends of the club, but players that are well thought of. I think Jermaine Beckford had a season here, but well thought of. It's nice to see him. Distan, Stephen Naismith, I think he's very well thought of within the fan base. Even Tom Davies, just seeing him coming back and things like that. So it's good seeing everyone. You just get a sense of how much ex-players love the club, and the word they always use is family and home. And that is what it means to Evertonians, certainly. But on a wider scale, and what it means to other players and things like that. I know he's an emotional person anyway, but even Ali McCloyston, the way he's talking about it, it's just good hearing, seeing what it means to a lot of people. For us, it means more, of course, but the whole sense that you're getting out of it is just how much it's going to be missed, the history, the tradition. It is home, it is family. When you first go to Goodison Park and you walk up the steps and you see the grass, you see the pitch, you see the surrounding the four tiers. Um, it's just it is brilliant and it is going to be sorely missed. But it's just great to drink it in. It looks like a fantastic atmosphere at the moment. Good that
Yeah,
I'm not there.
I love being able to watch it. I'm happy that TNT is doing this. I wish I was there. I guess it's comforting to know that Goodison isn't going away, right? Hopefully I'm sure I'm sure Goodison will be outfitted or slightly reimagined for the women's team, but we'll still get an opportunity to go there. I'll still be able to make that pilgrimage to Merseyside and be able to catch a game at Goodison while also catching a game at Bramley Moor. Excuse me. So at least we have that. What did you think about the match today?
Yeah, I mean, it was easy. Felt almost like a preseason game at times, didn't it?
Yeah.
Until the last 20 minutes, and I felt like in true Everton style, we were going to just have to hold on, and it got a bit scrappy. I think Southampton got to a point where they thought they took their eye off the ball. Yeah, let's go spoil the party. Let's go get the last goal at Goodison Park. We didn't. Pickford come up clutch, I guess. Towards the latter half of the game. But the game in general, as I said, we were absolutely dominant. I think you can still see that we clearly need a bit more creativity up front. Would have been nice, and I think it would have been a bit different story of more goals if Charlie Alcaraz was started the game. But all in all, no, it was a really, really good performance. I just wish Beto would have got a goal or two. He deserved it. He put an absolute shift in today. He's shown a couple of good touches as well. He's shown that guy a few times, but especially today, the one when he turned was it Stevens in the centre of the park, got fouled. Yeah, no, I thought he had a very good game, which would like to see him not be offside, but at least that second goal was a good header, that fantastic move.
Yeah, it's encouraging. To be honest, this seems like an improving player, and you often want to think the players that we see improve are, the 19, the 20, the 21-year-olds. Beto is what, 27? He's not at the start of his career, but he's certainly at the peak of it, and he's still growing and he's still improving. I saw some his link up play certainly does seem to be improving. His hold up play seems to be improving. We know he's a great finisher. We saw him finish 2 different opportunities today. Of course, we just need to see his offsides, his awareness improving so he can stay on side. I'm really encouraged. Do you feel like, is Beto one for the future now?
I think it's certainly a possibility. I think if we sell Beto, it won't be because he's not good enough. Because I think, and especially because he plays like a Moy striker, you see him, he's running them channels. We just need the players to get close to him because he's not the best on the ball. He's never going to be the best on the ball. We just need the players to get closer and tighter, which hopefully they'll be able to do that in the transfer window over the summer. If we sell him, it's because we're getting a really, really good fee for him, and we can reinvest that. To take this out because my earphone batteries have just died. So how much time I've spent trying to get set up today. So just bear with me while I put the YouTube on. I'm going to turn the volume down so we don't get any copyright infringements. So yeah, I think certainly, I think certainly he could be one for the future. I'd be more than happy to look into him going forward to be our starter, and we focus money into other areas because out wide is probably what we need more pacey wingers who are going to join him in the box and support him. I'm doing a little bit of work, a bit of preparation for a little transfer window show that we're going to do at some point in the future, probably come the end of the season. Obviously, a big part of that is strikers like Liam Delap, Omega, at Strasbourg, and a couple of other strikers. But when you look at the statistics, there's a very few strikers that we're linked with or around about the kind of profile that we're probably going to go for that have that have better statistics than he does. His goals per game ratio, his goals per minute ratio is fantastic. Even his hold up play, you look at his duels, when you look at it on a stat basis, the Moneyball stays the same kind of way of looking at it. He's actually performing really, really well, and he's doing it in the Premier League where other strikers are doing it in a league that's not as renowned for the physicality and difficulty that the Premier League is. So he's certainly someone I'd be happy to go in next season, especially if he's got a pre-season where he goes in knowing he's the starter, because he wasn't with Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and maybe the coaching wasn't centered around him. Maybe it sounds silly and it's probably sentimentality, but something like Duncan Ferguson, Big Dunk coming back, or at least a specialised striker coach who's done it in the Premier League, who can really teach him how to hold the ball. Because like you said, his hold the play has got better. I think a lot of the issue is that we played the core with him and they don't complement each other very well because they both want to do the same thing, running off the shoulder. When Alcaraz has been close to him, he's got there, he gets close, he gets the ball, and he allows us to then recycle. Beto's first thought at that point is run forward. He wants to split the lines. He wants to put the defenders on the turn. So I think if you have players around him who will do that, who will complement him, if you coach him that he is going to be the number 9, you can get the best out of him, and I think it'd save us 30-40 million.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I'm right with you. Yeah, I'm right with you. There's going to be a market for him. There's certainly going to be a market for him. So they're going to have to make a decision on what they want. And I don't know if he's a David Moyes, prototypical David Moyes striker, but certainly someone that could be, a second striker, or, has a place on the squad, I should say. Let me see if we can get through some of these comments. Tarky Skull will get in. Some of these comments do stretch back from a couple of minutes. So let's see if we have, that's why Moyes was the perfect manager for us. So some of the comments David Moyes made, I'm not sure if you were watching the stream, Corey, David Moyes' comments about, the plead to Evertonians, bring this enthusiasm with you to Bramley Moore, the plead to the Freakin' group, recognize what you have now and invest in this club. Like, this can just be the beginning of where this club goes from now on. My concern in looking at Everton is, and we've heard some of these comments before, that's not a museum. This should not just be, thought of in a historical sense. We need to know that Everton has a bright future ahead of us. And it seems like David Moyes is the man of the moment because he recognizes that and doesn't speak about Everton in a referential sense. It speaks about this club and, what they can be and what we should aspire to be. Do you agree?
Yeah, it's no doubt he loves the club. I probably had more reservations than most when he come in. Not so much that I didn't want him in or I was unhappy with him joining, just that in terms of the opportunity this summer and things like that. But he's been fantastic in terms of the stability he's brought the club. I think we wouldn't have been able to have such a good send off today if Sean Dyche was in charge. There we go. Look at that. Fantastic bit of segue. Well moderated. There, Chav, mate. You smashed that. Perfect timing. That wasn't planned, we promise. So I think he's allowed today to be as special as it is because there's less worries about are we staying or fans have been able to plan accordingly. It's allowed to be a celebration as opposed to a relief like it was against Palace, as it was against Bournemouth for the past 2 seasons. And like you said, yeah, his focus is very much not just the sentimentality. He's not just come back like that. He's come back because he loves the club and he wants to make us great again. He wants us to be challenging to at least somewhere where he left us when we were the best of the rest every year, when we needed to make that step forward to move into Champions League spots. He wants to at least get us there before he leaves again, or in and around that area. And I think he's a perfect man to take us into the new stadium, as long as we back him, and then be able to kind of, as long as we do our due diligence, to pass the keys on to the next man. How symbolic would that be if it's someone who he's managed previously? If we decide to give Leighton Baines or Lee Carsley or something like that a chance.
Mm-hmm. I think that's kind of the dream scenario, right? I mean, you always want, someone who you feel like really understands the club and understands the fans to take over. And if Leighton was able to stay with him for a few years and just be under his tutelage and transition to managing this club someday, I mean, I would love it. That's why I was when we saw that the cup match and Leighton was on the sidelines with Seamus.
Yeah,
such a fun moment. That was probably one of my highlights of the season. Was that? Any other thoughts from today? Alan Myers had tweeted out earlier that it just felt a little flat, maybe because the emotion of the day was taking the precedent over the game itself. So did you feel that? It certainly seemed to be the case. I think a lot of these players were, wanting to make sure they delivered a result for Everton, and maybe that's why they seemed a little tight at the end. But did the match seem a little flat to you, Corey?
Yeah, at times. I think it was more a case of the game was an occasion. You know what I mean? Like I said, it did feel like a friendly match at times. Southampton weren't really providing much of a threat. I think that's why we really took our foot off the gas, went back down to first gear, and they were able to get back into it a little bit. So it did feel flat at times, felt like a pre-season friendly kind of thing, or a testimonial, which I guess it's a Goodison testimonial. It's a testimonial to the stadium. But there was still at times, I mean, look, Iliman and Jai, when everything's all quiet, he will still come up with them big moments. He's got 2 goals thanks to quick feet, quick thinking, and just his general ability as well. I'm trying to think. What I will say is, I'm probably maybe reading too much into this, but if anyone's seen when Abdoulaye Doucouré came off, he looked like he was crying. Obviously, he'd done the clapping, and I thought he could just be clapping Goodison Park, could just be clapping the fans for the end of the season, as players do. Maybe he just doesn't know what his contract situation is yet. But when he come off, he was wiping away tears, or at least it looked like to me. So I think it may have been his final game at Goodison Park, definitely, but maybe his last or his second to last for the club as well. I think that's what I'm reading into it myself anyway.
Mm-hmm. I think it makes sense if it is. He's 31, close to 32, I believe. He, at this point in his career, should be a squad player. I'm not an Abdoulaye Doucouré fan, but I think he does have use if he's willing to accept that kind of role. It certainly seems like Abdoulaye Doucouré is not willing to accept a squad role right now. And if that's the case, then yeah, he's going to find opportunities maybe from another side in maybe a promoted side or in Saudi Arabia. He's going to find opportunities to get playing time. I don't think that he is one for the future, obviously. And I'm sure David Moyes is recognizing that. So if a contract offer has not been extended, or at least a contract offer Abdoulaye Doucouré seems, suited to take, then that's understandable. He shouldn't be a player at Everton on high wages, receiving a majority of the minutes. I'm sure we're at a point now where there's just a difference of opinion on what his place is in the squad. It looks like the TNT coverage has just ended. I didn't have the sound up, but it looked like it was you wrapped up with a few musical numbers. Did I lose you? Am I still
Yeah,
with you?
yeah.
Oh, here we go.
So I think we ended on was it someone Z cars on trumpet?
Okay, I
Something the
couldn't
trumpet
hear it. So
Z
yeah.
cars. Yeah. The and that was it. I was expecting Paul McCartney, to be honest, but oh well.
Ah.
No, do you know what? It looked like absolutely fantastic. It felt very, very Everton. Yeah, look, everyone's going to remember that day, aren't they? You know what I mean? So it'll be a momentous occasion for all them, for us as well. I don't get emotional. I'm not big on sentiments. Like I can appreciate it, but even myself, when the game was starting or just before the game was starting, people coming out, that's when I really started to feel like a little bit of emotion in me, some goosebumps and things like that. Couple of times I've had them goosebumps, but which for me is a big thing. Like I said, I'm not massively sentimental.
Yeah,
So yeah,
wouldn't blame you. Wouldn't blame you if you were sentimental today, especially just seeing, just seeing the coverage and seeing what it means to people as they recount, their first ever Goodison match or going to Goodison with a loved one that, may not be with them anymore. And just knowing that, Goodison is not just, it's not just a football stadium, a football arena. It is where you have bonded with the people that we hold dear in our life, and we've experienced some moments that that we hold dear. Did you see the fireworks at Bramley Moore Dock? So apparently the club let off blue smoke fireworks over Bramley Moore. Was a nice
yeah,
touch, great tradition. That's really cool.
that was part of the thing then on the TNT Sports just before they finished. They had the fireworks going off there. So and this is it. Um, it's a new era. I know Belly said that quite a bit. Moyes said it, and it's the most important thing though is Goodison's gone in terms of the men's team. We've got new owners in. Yeah, completely new style of owners who I'm liking what they're doing so far. Completely new backroom staff, completely new recruitment team and recruitment layout. A lot of players come to the end of their contract, so it is literally there's never been in my mind a bigger change, a bigger shift in terms of what's going on at the club. I was saying to Chris, I think it was on my Goodison Nostalgia series yesterday, that Arsenal had something fairly similar. It's not been the greatest time for them. I remember the season when they moved from Highbury to the Emirates. It was Henry's last season. Walcott was just coming through. It was a big, massive end of an era change. It feels even bigger here for Everton because it feels like an even bigger change here. So I'm hoping that it's a new stadium. We're moving into the HD stadium. And hopefully it's HD football. I've said it about 3-4 times now, but we've been playing technical football for the past couple of years. Let's go into the HD stadium playing HD football, maybe even 4K football.
I love that. Are you trying to get HD started? I'm on board.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah. I mean, a little segue from that. I was a bit shocked at the name when I first found it. It's not a sexy name. It's not the Allianz Arena, is it?
no.
But the main thing is that the money's right. The more money, the better. Apparently, the rumors are that it's one of the best paying stadium name right sponsorships going. So we'll take that. That's the most important part. And to be honest, apart from it not rolling off the tongue the best, I'm starting to warm up to the name. And like I said, there's always a nickname for it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
um,
someone will give it a
that,
great nickname. Maybe the HD or I think what I most, and we were talking about this a little bit earlier in the feed, is I it's something, there's something poignant about it being a Liverpool company, something that has Merseyside roots, that's connected to the club, that they themselves are trying to grow their footprint in the UK and Europe. And they have experienced a lot of success in their own right, in their own field. The symmetry between this law firm, Hill Dickinson, and Everton, I don't know. I kind of really appreciate the symmetry between the two and the ambitions between the two, and the fact that they're now co-branding this stadium together and partnering on it. I'm really enthusiastic, and the fact that they are willing to commit to Everton the way they are, and it looks like the amount of money that they're investing into the club. We've seen upwards of 10 million pounds a year for the naming rights for this. I love to see it, and I think it's just a really great sign of what's to come. And maybe that's Angus King at, kind of flexing his muscle a little bit. I know that's one of the reasons he was brought in as CEO by the Freaking Group, because he is good at aligning and negotiating these kind of money generating deals for the club.
Yeah, he done really well at Leeds, didn't he? I know they signed obviously the deal with Red Bull, to be like a Red Bull light team kind of thing, without losing the Leeds identity and the Leeds branding and things like that. So yeah, he does seem good at what he does. Again, it's not someone that's well known. Not that who's going to know who's who in the world of football, finance, and CEOs and things like that. But he's come from Leeds, so again, it's not a sexy acquisition. It's not a sexy name or anything like that. But it might just be the right acquisition. You know what I mean? And I'm trusting the Freaking Group at this moment in time, because what they're doing is they're doing a lot of work with consultancy, so they're doing a lot of work in football people. I think they've learned from their mistakes at Roma so far. So I'm liking what they're doing. We just really, really need them to back David Moyes in the transfer market. I'm hoping that we'll have about 120 million to spend accumulatively. Obviously, that'll be using creative accountancy. Obviously, installments. What's it called when you pay over, like, oh, my days, we're just gone from my head.
Like
What
deferred,
Chelsea have been doing over 7 or 8 years, amortization.
oh yeah,
So,
amortization. Yeah.
yeah, I think we'll do a lot of amortization in regard to that, and a lot of creative accounting. But I reckon we'll probably end up spending about 120 million accumulatively or something like that. That's what I think. And look, we do need about 10, 12 players. Yeah, maybe we'll get another 4 players in on loan, which is certainly possible. But there's players out there that can be bought for around about the 20, 30 million mark, spread it over a couple of years, and then players you can get for 5, 10 million. That's what the likes of Brighton, likes of Brentford, have been doing. Players in the Championship or teams in the Championship are buying these players. So, and that, as long as they back them, and as long as we go for it, the future's bright, the future's blue.
Yep. Yeah, I was wrong on this one. It's not Angus King, it's Angus Kinnear. That's right. Is Angus King somebody else? I don't know why I was thinking that name. But yeah, no, thanks for correcting me. Hey Corey, would you be able to take over? I've been going for about an hour 20. I have a couple things I have to get to. Would you be able to take over and start catching up on some of these comments?
I'll be able to. Yeah, that's fine, mate. Don't you worry about that. I've got over 15 minutes in me before I have to leave. But yeah, I can do that 15 more minutes.
Sounds good. Hey, thanks for jumping on. Thanks for taking over. Hey, thank you everyone that has joined and kind of watched the live coverage on TNT with me. I appreciate you, helping me through it and providing your comments. It was great to be able to share that moment with all of you Evertonians. Up the Toffees. Corey, I'll let you take over.
All the best, mate. Nice seeing you. Bye. Thank you very much there to Chad. So yeah, I don't know what Chad's gone through with all yourselves in regards to the post match and things like that, but for me it was absolutely fantastic. Like I said to Chad there, that my era especially is the Moyes era, the 2000s. Seeing Jags, Baines, Ozzy, is fantastic. Seeing up there, anyone in the comments, let me know who was you most excited and happy to see in the crowd as well. On the post-match celebrations, obviously it's nice seeing Bob Latchford. I think one of the best things to see as well, Neville Southall, looking fantastic. It's good to see him back at Goodison. We know he spent a bit of time not being able to go to the ground, so it's great to see him there. Great to see him being able to take it in and get the plaudits from Evertonians as well that he deserves, but he's not been able to receive as well. So for me, that's absolutely fantastic. And as well, Pickford, his reaction to the chanting. Obviously, the Evertonians chanting his chants. So I think he appreciates that we know how much he hates Newcastle, how much he's loved at the club. I think for me, he's our best goalkeeper since Neville Southall. I loved Tim Howard at the time, but Pickford, for me, what he's done for us, grabbed us out the mire, kept us up, is absolutely fantastic. Shelley, yeah, there we go. Tim Cahill, big dunk, fantastic. Big dunk, a hero of mine growing up. When I was younger, absolutely. The goal against Manchester United is probably one of the best moments for me at Goodison, absolutely. And yeah, I'm a bit jealous of you there, to be fair, Shelley. The 85 squad, didn't really get to see any of that. I'm a bit too young for that. This would have actually been the first kit. I was born 94, so I guess I have witnessed a trophy, the 95 FA Cup, but probably didn't have the brains to take it all in, clearly, as a little bambino. So, Rod, just give me a heads up. Who is it you're referring to when you say not the level of player that we're looking at or we're truly cooked? Yeah, just let me know so I've got an idea. James Graham, yeah, he didn't see Kinnear in the background. I didn't see him throughout the game. I wouldn't be surprised if he's there though. There's a lot of other people there in the ground that obviously TNT are probably going to focus on a lot more than on a new member of the backroom staff. Kevin, Jamie Gitt, Harry Patrick area. You've seen quite a few. I'm not going to comment on our old draw, but you're giving that away there, mate. But you've had some fantastic times. Hopefully, myself, I wouldn't say the younger generation, but not got to see the 80s and things like that. But hopefully, going into Bramley Moor and this new era is fantastic. Hopefully, we're looking onwards and upwards, and fortunes really start to change round. Just seeing there, Rod, as well, Longstaff. Yeah, I hope that's not someone who we go for. I actually wouldn't mind him if he's a squad player, but we're talking like a squad player on very, very little money. The amount that I reckon he'd want to come to us is nowhere near what I'd want to pay for him and where his position in the squad would be. But for an extra body in midfield, it wouldn't be the end of the world. But certainly we should be looking higher. I think I believe we're probably going to be after the right back, certainly. If you think the fact that I don't know if Seamus is going to be able to carry on going through next season. Obviously, he only managed 16, 17 minutes before having to come off. He's been a fantastic servant, but his injury issues, his body, he's suffered 2 big injuries in his career, especially in the latter part of his career as well. And the fact that we're willing to let Ashley Young go, Patterson wasn't getting on the pitch today. So it's going to make you think if we're letting all them players go, either we've got a centre-back lined up and we're going to go with O'Brien at right back next season, which I'd rather not. Or we've got on the pension there, Kev, is right. Or we've got sort of right back in the pipeline lined up as well. So fingers crossed for that. I do think we need an overlapping fullback. It'd really take the pressure off McNeil, who is certainly one-footed. I think there was a point where the ball went to him on the right-hand side, and any other player would have just whipped that in with the right foot, and he turned back on his left, and that opportunity had kind of gone down then. I think at that point, I think that's when it went back to Ashley Young, and his cross to James Garner was well, the header from Garner was way off, wasn't it? So I think we're crying out for some width and overlapping fullback on that right hand side. Certainly, I think we could do with an upgrade on Mikalenko, especially if it's in terms of an attacking fullback as well. But let's not talk too much about them players that are on the way out. I think we should just revel in the experience today, the atmosphere, how fantastic it was. Goodison Park ended with a win, ended with an Everton player being the last goal scorer as well. Little win and Jai, embracing the past, and hopefully he's the future that we can be embraced as well, because he's a fantastic player. He's the player who gets bums off seats, isn't he? He's the one we're going to turn to going into the new stadium. And of course, Jordan Pickford, Goodison captain, I guess. The last Goodison captain, yeah, Seamus led him out, but Goodison captain. And if it wasn't Seamus, I'm happy it's him. There's no one else I'd rather it be otherwise. And the save with his legs, fantastic. And in typical Pickford style, a little smile to the camera. There's a reason that a lot of people hate him, probably a lot of fans who aren't Evertonians, but us Blues, we absolutely love him. Not just what he's done to the club, but what he represents as well. That strong work, that passion, that little bit of lunacy which you do tend to get from Goodison games, especially Goodison under the lights of an evening. So yeah, fantastic. Blues, I'm gonna have to go as well. Thank you very much for Chad for holding the fort down while I was trying to get on the stream for a good hour, 45 minutes or something like that. But thank you all for joining us, especially with everything that's been going on after the match. I know there was other things for you to watch as well. So the fact you've spent your time joining us, joining Chad, joining me, thank you very much. Remember to hit the like, hit the subscribe button, especially on YouTube. Really goes a long way, and it allows us to be right up the top. The more views, the more subscribers that we get, the more content that we can put out, the more in-depth stuff. Like I said, we've got a transfer show coming up as well. We're going to touch more on what players are going to be leaving as well from that. But from me, Chad, everyone to follow Everton. Goodbye, Goodison Park, and enjoy your weekend, guys. Enjoy your Sunday. I'm off for a roast. Up the Toffees, up the Bramley Moor Dock. Ciao.